Now I will start discussing about how to validate the JSON schema. Now I will navigate to the Postman tool. Let's see the scenario. Here after creating the booking, so we are getting the booking ID in the API response by using this booking ID, and we are getting all the details in the get API call. So here in the API response, we are getting the JSON object, right? So let's verify whether this particular API response is having the proper values or not. For example, the first name is having the string type of data and last name is having the string type of data, and if you look at the total price, it is accepting the only integer type of data. So while validating the JSON schema, so we will be validating the fields which has the proper data type of value. So we will be not validating the exact key and the value here. So we will check only the particular field is accepting the only boolean type of value or not, and if it is accepting the string type of value, then that's the validation fail, right? So this is what we are doing in the JSON validations. We will verify whether all the fields are accepting the proper data type values. So now I will go to the Eclipse IDE. Already here we have created the post API request using the REST assured, and also we have created the get API request using the REST assured. Simply I will open the post API request using the POJOs. So in this class we have created the first post API request, and then we are getting the booking ID. By using this booking ID, we are passing to the get call, and here we are validating whether we are able to create the resource successfully in the application server or not. Then finally we are validating the status code here. So now we will validate the JSON schema also. So before we go ahead and validate the JSON schema, so first we need to convert this API response into the JSON schema. So simply I will copy this API response, that's a JSON object, and I will go to the google.com, and here you can simply search for the online JSON to JSON schema converter, and here you will get the liquidtechnologies.com. You can go to this website, and after that simply paste the value here, and here you can check this I'm not a robot, and click on generate schema, and here you got the JSON schema, and simply click on this icon. After copying it, simply I will create the one text file in our REST assured API testing tutorial project. So inside the SRC test resources, I will add the one text file. So here I'm giving the text file name as expected JSON schema, then I'll say dot text, then I'll say finish. So inside this I will add the JSON schema. So most of the times we will get the JSON schema from the development team, and if you are not getting it after developing the API, once you are able to get the API response, simply copy that API response and you can convert your API response into the JSON schema by going to the one of the site. So there are many sites which will help you to convert the JSON object into the JSON schema. So here we have added the JSON schema. Now we have the JSON schema, and we have to specify this file location. So here I'll go to the file name here I'll go to the file name constants.java file. So here we'll specify the file location. So here I'll say public static final string, and followed by that I'll specify the variable name as JSON schema. That's it. So here we will use this base path variable, and followed by that. So this base path is nothing but we have specified our base file location path. If you look at this one, so this particular file is there under the SRC test resources. So that's the reason here I'm using this base path. It has the .src test resources, and followed by simply I will add the file name here. So here I'll specify expected JSON schema dot text. That's it. We have converted the API response into the JSON schema, and after that we have specified schema response. We have specified the schema in the JSON schema in the text file, and after that we have specified the location of the file. Once we are having the file location, we can read the file by using the Commons API. So here I'm using the file utils class dot, here I'll say read file to string. So here we have to pass the two parameters. First one is file object, here I'll say new file. Inside this we have to specify the file location. So already we have specified the file location inside the file name constants.java class. I'll copy this class name and I'll specify it class name here. After that I'll say dot JSON schema, and after that here we have to specify the UTF -8 for the encoding the data purpose of the data file, sorry, which is there in the text file. So we need to encode the data by using the UTF-8, and this particular method returns us the string type of data. So that's the reason here I'm assigning back to the string type of variable. Here I'll say JSON schema. That's it. And you can import the, so if you have already imported this file, you can import the file, and right now you can add the catch statement for this one because we are performing the IO operations. If you have already imported this file, no need to import it once again. So in my case, I have already imported the file class from the, if you look at here, so I have already imported the java.io.file, right? So that's the reason it is not showing me the error here. So after reading the text file and which has the JSON schema, let's try to print it first, then we will validate by adding the simple Maven dependency. So after the line number 57, here I'm using the system.out.println, and simply I will print the this JSON schema. So we will confirm whether we are able to read the file, and once we are having the value, then we can compare the JSON schema from the get API response. Let's execute this API test, and it should print us the JSON schema which is there inside the text file. So validating the schema, it will not take more than 30 seconds because just we need to write the single line of code. And if you look at this test, our test is getting passed, and also it is printing us the JSON schema. So we are able to read the JSON schema successfully. And once we are having the JSON schema, so we need to add the one dependency called JSON schema validator. You can go to the google.com and here you can search for JSON schema validator Maven dependency. Here you can go to the Maven repository official website, and you can use any of the version. I will use the latest version 5.3.0. I will copy this Maven dependency and I will go to the Eclipse project and I will open the form.xml file, and inside this under the dependencies tag I will add the JSON schema validator Maven dependency, and after that simply save it. So simply it will download the APIs, and once it is downloaded the APIs, we can use all the classes and the methods from that particular API. So let's close this form.xml file. So now we are having the JSON schema, that is the expected value, and we need to get the actual value from the application server, right? So after the line number 69, so here I'm calling to the method called body. So inside this body, I am using the one class, that is a JSON schema validator, and if you look at this one, it is coming from the io.threshold.module.jsv. Simply import it, and after that simply call to the matches JSON schema. So here you can pass the file, or you can pass the input stream, and also you can pass the reader object, and also you can specify the string type of data. In our case, we have the string type of data. That's the reason here I'm choosing the matches JSON schema. I'm choosing the fourth method. And once we are having this method called, simply I will copy this JSON schema and I'll specify it here. That's it. So this one line will validate the JSON schema of your expected value and the actual value. Let's execute this API test. Now it will pass, and next time we will fail it intentionally. So we'll specify the incorrect value in the or expected value, and that time so there will be a mismatch in the expected JSON schema and the actual JSON schema. That time it will get failed. So this time it should work fine without any issues. And if you look at this console output, our test is getting passed, right? So our test is working fine. So I will open the expected JSON schema.txt file. So if you look at here, field wise, we have specified what type of data we should get in that particular field, right? So let's specify in the first name. So just for time being, I will specify the integer type. So eventually we will not get the first name as the integer type. So in that time, in that case, our test will get failed. So let's try to fail the test this particular test while validating the JSON schema. So this particular JSON schema validation will be used to mainly check whether all the fields is accepting the proper type of values. And if you look at this console output, our test is getting failed. So one test got failed. And if you look at this one, response body does not match the expectations. And if you look at this one, we have found the string type of data in the first name, and expected is integer type of data, right? So this is how you can validate the JSON schema, and this is all about the how to validate JSON schema.